So, back again in the garden. We have been all the way through this, past my beautiful Angelica and the Buckeye, and now we are in the last part of the garden. At the back is a hop, which will hang over the top of this, look very lovely. And this particular section of the garden is kind of a mess, but at the same time, it's not. I use this particular section of the garden because I actually favor the horsetail. A lot of people don't like horsetail, but I allow the horsetail to grow freely in here because I collect it and use it as a medicinal. It's full of silica and great for the bones. So the horsetail can grow freely through here. I have lavenders and asters. This is a variety of Montana sage. I have foxgloves and daisies. And this is Verbena bonensis. That's the kind that grows up tall and makes the little purple spikes at the top. This is the king of my lavender collection. This particular one always produces wonderful, beautiful smelling lavender, very medicinal, very lovely. And so I treat that one like a gem. If you are trying to get your lavenders to really like the soil, they are very fond of lime. Remember that they grow in chalky soil all around in France and England, and so that's what they need, is slightly chalky soil. This is called Snow in Summer, and this these white blooms will continue on the ends of the blooms for a number of weeks. Tansy, which I do not have migraines, but it's for migraine. That's what this one is. This is just a variety of salvia that makes pretty blue flowers, so I keep it. This is agrimony, which will eventually make tall spikes with yellow blooms. Agrimony is very useful for nerve pain in the neck and in certain joints in the back. That sharp knife feeling you get. That's what this is used for in a tincture with several other different herbs. I've got snapdragons, and this one is blue vervain, which is also mixed with the agrimony over there for the nerve pain I was discussing. This is going to be purple iris. Interesting note, the root of the iris is kept and dried, saved for approximately 5 years, and it is used as a preservative in scented blends for dried herbs sometimes. In the back, I've got my blackberry bush, which produces wonderful blackberries, and my raspberry bush. And through here, I've got my marjoram, which is my favorite. Another lavender, not quite as old as the other one, but truly wonderful. And daisies. More of that plant that will attract monarch butterflies. And here is another patch for my dahlias. There's another dahlia somewhere back in there. I just can't find it right now. But there is. I keep my dahlias in the greenhouse, which is where we are at now. This is a passion flower, which has been there for some time. And the passion flower is planted with some skullcap. And somewhere down in there is a teeny weeny little extra patchouli to see how it grows. And inside the greenhouse, I am keeping my tomatoes nice and warm, and my peppers, and certain plants. This is a night blooming cereus that gives beautiful white blooms. That's a bit more grape. And down here are the leftover pieces of the dahlias and peppers and hot weather plants. My squashes and stuff are being allowed to grow in here as much as they like until the weather really improves. This nasturtium just decided to grow up out of one of my pots, so I let it. It looks lovely in here, doesn't it? And then the last garden, let's see where we're at, 4:30. Well, I'll go over a little bit because we're just about done. It's edged in more chives. By the way, the tips of chives are often cut off, dipped into tempura batter and fried. It's quite a tasty treat. They're quite perky and very kind of peppery hot, but they are very delicious. You can drop these tops into vinegar, and you make a lovely flavored vinegar. But if anybody's interested in chives, please let me know. This is my bay tree, which has been growing very nicely for me for almost 25 years in pots and in other homes, and dug up and put in a pot and dug up and moved. The bright orange in the background is an azalea. It got moved last year, so it's not as happy as it could be, but it'll be another year and it'll look really lovely. More of those pretty campions. I have anemones in here that bloom in the fall, and there is a lot of valerian. And over here, let's see, well, there's my rosemary. There it is, sorry about that. And this is going to be a huge pot full of really smelly pink lilies. Over here is my rose bush, which makes very well-scented rose petals for various uses. And then this is all just mint. I use a lot of mint in a number of things, so that's what that is. So there you have it, folks. This is now what the garden looks like. A wonderful rainstorm. Oh, that spot in the middle is where I just keep all the leaves that I collect during the fall, and they just stay there all during the winter. And when the summer comes, I start to add it to my garden. But inside of it, you can see things growing. Those are potatoes. Whenever I have leftover potatoes, I just dump them in. The arches will have beans on them for the summertime, and then the rest of it is just filled with cosmos and leftover sunflowers and stuff. But it's mostly just to keep the leaves during the fall and through the wintertime. But there you have it, folks. My lovely garden. I look forward to somebody else's lovely garden videos. See you later.